A new San Francisco restaurant is getting bad reviews online tonight, and it's got nothing to do with the food. Reviewers are reacting because restaurant staff refused to serve 3 uniformed San Francisco police officers this weekend.
The presence of the officers' weapons in the restaurant made us feel uncomfortable. We respect the San Francisco Police Department and are grateful for the work they do. We welcome them into the restaurant when they are off duty, out of uniform, and without their weapons.
Well, it is time somebody ganged up on you, for God's sake.
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and it's kind of rare when we get one of those epic moments of getting woke and then going broke, or suffering instant karma from a woke moment. But over the weekend, we had what can only be described as the chef's kiss of disasters. So a restaurant in San Francisco called Hilda and Jesse. It is known for expensive San Francisco food, but they decided it's probably a good idea that we bring a PR disaster upon ourselves. So they decided they needed to kick out 3 on-duty officers because it made their staff feel uncomfortable and unsafe. I want to repeat that. The waitress at a restaurant in a city that is currently the world record holder in smash and grab robberies, San Francisco, said that they felt unsafe with uniformed officers in their store eating hash browns and eggs, so they kicked them out. They probably thought this was going to be a huge PR win for them. It was just going to be awesome for them. Except it didn't quite go that way. Because not everybody lives on Twitter, and the real world means real people want real safety and protection. This via San Francisco Chronicle local news. San Francisco restaurant facing backlash apologizes for ushering out police officers over the, quote, presence of their pew-pews. The owners of San Francisco restaurant Hilda and Jesse apologized Sunday in the face of criticism for asking 3 officers who were dining there to leave because staffers felt, quote, uncomfortable with the presence of their multiple pew-pews. We made a mistake and apologized for the unfortunate incident Friday when we asked the members of the San Francisco PD to leave our restaurant. No, you don't. You're not sorry about it. You're sorry that it made the news and you got absolutely demolished for it. We are grateful to all members of the force who work hard to keep us safe, especially during these challenging times. The statement said, "We hope this will continue to be a teachable moment for us as we repair and continue to build bridges with the SFPD. These are stressful times, and we handled this badly." Well, yeah, I'd say so. Now, at the restaurant on Union Street in North Beach, they said Sunday morning their staff was busy preparing to open and she would not be available to provide more information. After reports of the incident spread on social media Saturday, that the restaurant later that day posted a description of what happened. Soon after the PD were seated on Friday, restaurant staffers, quote, politely asked them to leave, according to the Instagram post, because their presence made the people feel uncomfortable. Now, what's curious is they don't have any comments enabled. Isn't that funny? Everywhere else, oh, they don't seem to, do they? They must have disabled comments, or maybe they never had them in the first place. 3 armed police officers. By the way, they're all armed. They seem to be like saying that and thinking that that makes what they did okay. Now, you have every right to refuse service to really anyone you want. as a private, business, private restaurant or whatever the case may be. You absolutely can. But this is probably not great. They said, we respect the SFPD and what they do to support our community. However, the presence of their weapons in the restaurant made us uncomfortable. This was not a political statement. We did what we thought was best for our staff. It wasn't? Then why'd you post about it on social media? Why did you post about it on social media? Here's their official response on Twitter. Our restaurant is a safe space, particularly for LGBTQ individuals. Furthermore, the fact that they were in uniform with multiple ways to defend themselves made our staff uncomfortable and potentially other guests. So they were asked to leave. We would happily welcome them off duty, out of uniform, and without their protection. Sorry that the decision upset you. We understand your perspective and hope you'll consider ours. Rachel, she, her, operations and co-manager of Hilda and Jesse. I mean, okay, certainly you can do that. Now, the police chief of SFPD says community engagement is a core principle of our 21st century police reforms. And we are intentional about asking our officers to support local businesses and get to know who they're sworn to safeguard. For years, spokesperson, and let's see how this is going for them. After the incident Friday, the business received a number of one-star reviews roasting the restaurant and asking on-duty police officers to leave. Given that the business has decided to discriminate against first responders, I reserve the right to call for boycott of Hilda and Jesse, one Yelp user wrote. The San Francisco Police Department Chief William Scott said he found the incident discouraging and personally disappointing. Now, if we want to look at just how the reviews are going, well, you see this warning from Yelp. And look, I actually get it. You get a bunch of reviews from people who don't even live in the area. Roasting your restaurant or whatever the case may be. Like, I understand. But they see unusual activity report. This business recently received increased public attention, which often means it comes to the page to post their views on the news. Well, let's see. Let's look at some of the Ask the Community questions, because this is some of my favorite stuff. Do they have a public restaurant? Number one answer. Not that I can think of. A server told me it was whites only. Does this place have a Michelin star? Top answer. I think they're afraid of stars, especially the ones you see on badges. 701 like. How about this? Do you serve pig? And then they have like pig emojis and cups. I like having uniformed cops eat at restaurants I'm at. I feel safer with them there. Can't believe my eyes when I read the Instagram of this restaurant. I'm hoping the employees that were scared never have to call on the police for help. San Francisco is getting more and more dangerous, and I've been here since 1976. Now, certainly that person could be lying, but, the idea that everybody inside of San Francisco is some sort of woke idiot that, like, is cool with, unchecked crime. You see a lot of these, I would not support or recommend. Shame on you. May the eggs of 1,000 roaches hatch and infest your kitchen. I mean, okay. Windsor, California. Here's someone from Long Beach, California. This is a safe space, the one you can not come to when your job is keeping people safe. This is a weapon-free zone, but they don't realize everything from the fire extinguisher on the wall to the chef's knife becomes a weapon. The establishment is free of discrimination, but it refuses to serve certain people. Since weapons make them uncomfortable, then they need to turn their knives into law enforcement and only cook with spoons. Disrespectful owners to the police. One becomes uncomfortable in the presence of police when you have done something questionable. The damage is done. I've got a few family members and good friends who are in the force. You disrespect any of them, you disrespect the whole department. Now, look, what I'll say is, obviously not, I don't like the idea of worshiping on any organization in whole. But I do back police 100%. And I guarantee you any good cop would agree with what I'm about to say next. Of course, there are bad cops. most cops on the force would probably want them out too. Yes, I'm not a fan of the thin blue line, and I think it keeps bad cops around, just like the teachers union keeps bad teachers around. But the overwhelming majority of cops are great people willing to put their life on the line for perfect strangers. I love San Francisco, love North Beach, hate discrimination of any kind, especially if it's targeting first responders. Terrible decision that may end up, quote, canceling this place right out of business. Will not patronize this place when I visit next. I mean, they're not apologizing because they actually felt bad about it. Make no mistake about it. They're only apologizing because they're getting ruthlessly demolished online. They don't want you around, so don't be around. Seems pretty straightforward. They just don't get to change their minds when somebody comes in to rob them or threaten their patrons. If they call 911, tell them you swing by first time when you find time when you're off duty. I mean, these people are public servants, but they're also humans too. You know what I mean? Like, you can see they currently now have a 1.3 rating on Google. That's why they apologized. They didn't apologize because they made a mistake. They apologized because they thought they were going to have their woke moment of solidarity. The general public found out and absolutely crushed them for it. In my opinion, rightfully so. Hope you enjoyed this video. By the way, if you see the red subscribe button down below, if you're watching on YouTube, that means you're not subscribed yet. Please take a moment to create an account and subscribe. I would greatly, greatly appreciate. I'll consider it your Christmas gift. If you're watching on any other video platform, please subscribe there too, Rumble, Odyssey, or BitChute. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.